48 car was. Chase Elliott, look at the speed he has.
And I wonder if they're questioning the time in which they went out. I think Chase Elliott's going to go to the top of the board with this last.
Really fast.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, smoked him a 21.
Wow.
30-21 for Chase Elliott. We weren't expecting to see that kind of speed.
Well, so you have to start asking yourself, did the 48 go too early? Did the track gain grip as the sun went down? I know that they wanted to get out there, get their lap, and cool their tires. I mentioned maybe saving tires. You mentioned trying to get them cool, Jeff, but both of those theories, now you see him tightening his belt. Jimmy Johnson knows he's going to have to do it again. The path for the 7th championship is just a little more difficult.
And Steve, they've got to go out here in a moment, and you see Jimmy tightening the belts, as you mentioned. Chad Knaus watches on. This is the team that spent the entire day in practice just working on qualifying trim, trying to get ready for this. You guys touched on it a moment ago, the laps on the tires. That's going to become key. You heard Chad Knaus at the end of that first run for Jimmy Johnson, take it easy on your tires, take it easy on your tires. So now that's going to come into being a factor here. Can they pick up time, but are the tires too worn to pick up time? That's going to be the big question when they go back out in a moment ago.
Well, I believe as far off as that lap time is, they can pick up time. I think they'll make the top 24, but they're behind for the rest of the day, even if they do.
What line do they run, though? Does he run right up against the wall where he has more banking and maybe not as hard on the tires?
Well, we haven't heard. When he said it was far off, I don't think we've heard what his balance issue is, Jeff. I think Jimmy probably knows where on the racetrack to put his car to adjust to that balance. But think about this. What Marty mentioned, I think, needs to be talked about. Only qualifying runs. 5th in practice. We didn't see anything in practice that would tell us that this 48 was going to struggle in qualifying. So this, we talk about momentum. Well, you can also take momentum away from yourself. And right now, the struggle in this first round of qualifying has got to be a negative blow for this 48.
I think it is, and I think now it has diverted their attention, right? Rather than going and competing for a pole, which is what they came into this thing thinking about. They're just trying to get in the top 24 to get into the second round. And I just think that they're shocked. But Paul Menard, he was able to go faster, which gives Jimmy Johnson hope. And the concern about that is that Paul Menard went faster. Can Casey Kane go faster? Can Brian Scott go faster? Can other cars go faster as well? So, but that showed right there. Ty Dillon, he's shown a little bit of speed as well.
I'm telling you, this track is picking up. It's getting darker. It's getting cooler. You've been down here testing before. When the sun goes down here, this place gains grip. It's not a huge amount, but we're only talking a few hundredths, maybe a tenth of a second.
Saw Ty Dillon, he drove into turn 3 really hard. Got into turn 3, it looked like his speed was okay, but drove in there hard enough where he just couldn't maintain the speed on the exit of turn 4.
But even that lap was an improvement. Even that lap for Ty Dillon, while it wasn't enough, it was faster than his first round.
Maybe add a little tape.
Well, I think what they do is they open right here. There are fans that you can flip on from the driver's compartment to pull air in and cool the tires. So to do that, though, they have to have an opening. So there's those openings in the ductwork or in the nose. You have to untape them to run the fan down. You tape them back up to go on the racetrack.
Jimmy Johnson has gone all season making it into round 2. This would be the first time, if it happens, that he doesn't get into the second round.
So Michael McDowell is in 28th, Jimmy Johnson in 27th, and McDowell going into turn 3 was about 2 tenths to the good. I think he's still going to hold on. It's going to be close. Yes, he moves himself up to 23rd. So we've seen several cars now have enough speed to move themselves forward.
Time clicking away on the first round, and the other 3 Championship 4 contenders comfortably in the top 24. Kyle Busch is 16th. He's going to stay in the top 24. Edwards and Logano up there 6th and 4th, respectively.
But, Jeff, I think you brought the perfect point up. Is now the 48, the reason they're waiting is because now their whole focus has to be advancing. So now they think the track's getting better, waiting to the end. So to your point, the focus has completely shifted on where they were just 21 minutes ago.
Yeah, they went out early, hoping to have cool tires going into round 2. Now they're going to have to go out late in round 1, which means they're going to have hot tires going into round 2. So that slow lap changed their entire strategy completely went upside down.
Kyle Larson, this is another car I think we're all a little surprised to see outside the top 24.
He's going to make 1 lap. So you heard Chad Knaus let him know a minute and a half to go. That's when we'll go.
And I think you have to be careful. I understand waiting, but you don't want to wait so long that if something happened, somebody had some sort of problem in front of them or something got blocked in, that they couldn't find time to go. Here's Kyle Larson.
2/10 of a second to the good, and they're going to sit.
Jimmy, everybody that's gone out again has picked up. Looks like you're going to need to run probably about a 70, which is about a 10th and a half faster than where we're at right now. Maybe 2.
Pretty calm, though, right?
Yeah, I like the
calm voice. Just look, matter of fact.
There you have it. At your leisure, Earl. Earl the spotter for the 48.
You may roll.
Yeah, the problem is they told him to roll, but there were some cars around him that were wanting to roll at the same time, and they just went by Jimmy Johnson. So now he has to just sit there and wait for the clear line to go. That's the problem with waiting too long. Is things like that can happen. It can put you in a situation where you don't have a clean racetrack.
Get out there.
Yeah, I mean, 2 point. Earl's doing his best, but there are cars behind him on pit road.
And you heard Earl say the guys coming off 4, and Jimmy started rolling. The reason Jimmy started rolling was to tell the people behind him, hey, I'm going. You're not going to take this spot. That's just a signal saying, this is my turn to go. I'm not going to let you go past me.
Big right here for Jimmy Johnson. Can he break back into the top 24 and make it to round 2?
Running the high line, coming to the green flag. That's to carry as much speed as he can to the green flag. We see that at every racetrack where there's multiple grooves. Key now is not to overdrive the entry so you can go back to the throttle the way you need to.
In the red early.
There you go. There's the caution. That's what we talked about, waiting to go out.
And this is huge.
Now he can come in, his clock will stop. He can come in and cool his engine, try to get it cooled down, but when it goes back green, he's going to have to be ready to roll. That's the problem with waiting late. You want to wait as long as you can, but when these things happen, it puts you in a bind.
Yeah, and NASCAR, like you said, they'll stop the clock, but there's still time on the tires. And my concern was he was still in the red, tracking through 1 and 2. So you hear Chad giving clear instructions. This is what we need to do. But he was in the red through 1 and 2. So we see here Landon Castle at the top of 3 and 4 just spins out. We've seen this a couple times today. Big long slide for the 38. Luckily for him, it didn't hit anything. Tire goes flat right there at the end. But Jeff, you called it. 48 of Jimmy Johnson. This is going to be. I think he might have enough time to come around and get the green flag. But from what I saw in 1 and 2, still in the red. Now one more half a lap on his tires. I think I'm going to be shocked if the 48 makes it to the top 24. Has never missed the second round all year long. The biggest race of the year.
So the problem isn't that he has enough time to go out, but everybody else that wants to go out too. So you've got all these race cars on the end of pit road trying to go out basically at the same time. Marty.
And that's what Earl Barber just pointed out. You see those 5 cars at the end of pit road waiting. He said, I don't think we're going to be able to get it, guys. He has to leave here, in theory, at 38 seconds. They think they can get around in enough time to be able to take the green, but that's cutting it awfully close. And then you have those 5 cars as well out on pit road right now, and they're trying to cool the car down. So a lot of things need to happen right for the 48, even to be able to get a lap in. But Steve, to your point, Steve, will they have enough speed to make it through to the next round? That's the big question.
I mean, my concern is I didn't think they had enough speed on the last run.
And the clock starts. The clock starts when NASCAR says the track's open. Not when you come to the start-finish line. As soon as NASCAR says the track is open, that's when the clock starts. So there's already 5 cars at the end of pit road that Jimmy is going to have to try to muscle his way around, but you don't want to be in the middle of those cars, so this is going to be tight.
And there is a safety vehicle just at the exit of turn 2, so they're not going to open the track or put the green flag out on this session until the track is completely clear. Safety vehicles on the front stretch as well, just making sure there isn't anything left on the track after the spin by Castle.
Jeff, we talk about the small things that affect a race, affect a weekend. Well, right here, Jim Johnson was trying to go, didn't go.
Guess who went by
behind him?
Yeah.
38 of Landon Castle, the car that brought out the caution. So that one decision to get on the racetrack or not get on the racetrack, I mean, that piles on.
And that decision, Jimmy was forced into making that decision because the 32 was coming at such a, the car behind him was coming at such a high rate of speed, Jimmy had no choice. When you go to the end of pit road, you don't have to wait in line. You can just go whenever you want to go. So he just got put in a position where he just had to stop.
So this is interesting to me. So cars were 3 wide at the end of pit road. We always talk about a race within a race.
43 to get back.
So Earl Marvin, in his opinion, takes 43 seconds to run the access road, come around, so they have about a 13-second window. But we talk about the race within a race. What's the level of respect that these three on pit road are going to have for Jimmy Johnson? Do they care?
Look at the official. Look at the official. He said, nope, you can't go over here. You can't be in the pit box.
Right, so you got to follow out over there. He tells them where to go. But so now, Brian Scott, Paul Menard, Ty Dillon, there's other cars at the end of pit road. What is their opinion going to be for the 6-time champion? Do they care that he's racing for a championship, or do they have to go out and run the lap for themselves?